Welcome to my brand new SHADDOLL deck list. This is the deck that I played at my locals this weekend. It was about 20 people. I won 4 games and lost 1 and came second. Without further ado, let's get into the list. For starters, we have 1 SHADDOLL Wendy, 1 SHADDOLL Squamata, 1 SHADDOLL Ariel, 1 SHADDOLL Hedgehog, 1 SHADDOLL Falco, 1 SHADDOLL Dragon, 1 SHADDOLL Beast, 1 SHADDOLL Fusion, 1 SHADDOLL Schism, SHADDOLL Incarnation. If you've seen our previous deck list, one of the main changes I've made is I've added SHADDOLL Falco, SHADDOLL Fusion, and SHADDOLL Incarnation to my list. Basically, what I want to do is play the cards that I like, and I like SHADDOLLs, and these cards aren't actually bad, it's just they're bad in comparison to other cards. Like, SHADDOLL Incarnation can trigger your flip effects on your monsters, SHADDOLL Fusion can help go for game, and also uses interruption to make your monsters on your opponent's turn. Falco just resurrects itself and becomes an extra name to send every game. So yeah, it becomes an extra name every game. It's also quite annoying to get rid of because it can resurrect itself or resurrect one of your other cards. So the main reason you play one of each and not multiples is because you're playing some branding stuff and some other kind of consistency cards basically. And you only need one really if you're trying to play optimally. You've got SHADDOLL Wendy to summon from decks, Squamata to get all your other cards to the graveyard, Ariel to either banish 3 from the grave or resurrect one of your banished monsters, Hedgehog to search for what card you need, Beast to draw, and Dragon to either bounce or pop. Quite standard. Schism's obviously a card that helped me a lot during this past weekend. Helped me close out games and also just helped me get rid of all my opponent's monsters. Can't believe I forgot this. I'm playing 1 SHADDOLL Fusion. The reason that I'm only playing 1 is because I watched TCG Sam's video on it in which he played like a SHADDOLL pile deck. I tried that deck, I didn't really like it too much, so I stuck with mine. But I did take his SHADDOLL Fusion theory to heart, in which you don't really need the 1 anyway, because you can just send it off app alone to either hand through your normal plays, like polarizationing a Squamata and Ariel and such, and then linking it off with a gravity controller. So it makes sense to play 1. Then you can side it in based on the deck you're playing against, so it makes sense, because not all decks will be extra focus, even though most of the current meta ones are. But yeah, it's good, I like it, it's okay theory. So up until the literal final second of the tournament, I decided to play only 2 Firefight Patchworks, 2 Edgement Chains, and only 1 Polymerization. I was considering playing 2 Polymerization, but then decided at the last second that I don't really need a second Polymerization. Because even if you use Polymerization, you're opening your hand and just play, you can just still discard this to add this to your hand for that discard fodder for your Super Polys or your Rebellion. So it's not really that big of a hit. And that's the only main reason, to be honest. And you can also send Edgement Chain through Sharon, which I play at 1 now, reduced from 3 because of obvious reasons. We're going through I don't know, Mud Dragon, I guess. And then you can make Predator Plant Trigger Speeder. I don't think I ever did that though. For the branded part of the deck, we play 2 Albaz, 3 branded fusions. Quite standard, obviously, because you're not gonna play 3 Albaz, are you? You maniac. You play 3 branded fusions so that you can send your SHADDOLLs or send a Sharon if you want to be fancy and discard a SHADDOLL from hand to make a Winder and also a Merge on the same turn. Or in the same fusion, I should say. That's the main reason. For the interruptions, as I like to call them, we're playing 3 Imperms because you can't be thrusted or tactics against it, which is nice. 3 Ash Blossoms against the branded fusions, and then you like Kishtira cards. We're playing 3 Dark Rune Moors because SHADDOLL Fusion requires an opponent's monster to have an extra on the field. So it makes sense to negate everything on their field. You don't really need to OTK SHADDOLLs anyway. You should be able to make a board good enough to keep them from comboing off too much anyway. And lastly, 3 Super Polys. Quite standard, helps you fuse away all their bigger problem monsters. The problem I faced with Super Poly was that I was playing the Fire SHADDOLL instead of the Earth one, which cost me a game against Shisteras. Luckily, I actually beat them in the long run in the next 2 games. But that Earth one, my god, I prefer the Earth one as well. It's just I'm a target for it currently. Maybe use the Shizu cards, maybe use Ghost Bell. Not sure, but I am considering playing something just to play the Earth one. I am playing the Earth one actually. I'm playing the Earth one with no targets in my deck because Trap Tricks is also a thing. So it makes more sense to have the Earth one than the Fire one, even though you can make the Fire one. That's my thinking. Miscellaneous, 1 Call by the Grave, helps you get your Ash Blossom. No, helps call by an Ash Blossom to help your combos go off because you're playing loads of fusions. Lastly, we're playing 2 Nadir Servants, 1 Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous, and Dogmatica Ecclesia, and Dogmatica Fleur de Lis. The reasoning for playing 1 Incredible Ecclesia, so you have a light target for SHADDOLL Construct. It's also a good recursion to add back to your hand, which you can then use for discard fodder. So it's quite good. I'm playing 2 in the day instead of 3 because I'm pretty sure it'll be hit at some point. I hope it goes to 2. And also it costs like, this cost me like £6 per copy, so you know, I don't really feel like buying a third one. I got 1 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur-de-Lis. This is a great combo I like to do, especially with the Brandy package, where I can send Time Cleanse it to the graveyard to special summon it in the end phase to give me and negate. Because the problem with SHADDOLLs is they don't have a negate in there. The problem with their SHADDOLLs is they don't really have like an omni-negate or like a chainable negate. They have app clone to permanently negate something, which is great, but it's not chainable, so that's the only problem. And this helps do that, as well as the Day 7 lets you send app clone to the graveyard to add Schism to hand, which is also pretty great. For the extra deck, I'm playing 1 Shekhanaga, 2 app clone, 1 Construct, and 2 Winder. This was the fire one, but as I've said before, I've changed my mind on that. I want to play the Shekhanaga no matter what. It's a better card overall. I just thought my matchups would be more fire dependent because of the Kashtira cards, but no. The Earth one is always better. For the branded cards, we've got 2 Albion, 1 Libellion, 1 Titanclad, and 1 Mirror Jade. Titanclad for the Dogmatica cards in the end phase, depending on how high of a card advantage I am and how much I want to stop their plays. 2 Albion because you want to make 1 and also send 1 to further your plays. And 1 Libellion because you can recycle it, and 1 Mirror Jade because you only need 1 Mirror Jade. Super poly targets, we've got Predator Plant, Dragosphere, and Mud Dragon. You can basically make these with Sharing or Libellion anyway, or Albion. So it's just good to have in handy as like an extra focus, as well as the super poly targets. For the non-fusion cards, we have Gravity Control and Time Thief Redoer. Time Thief Redoer is there for sharing, obviously, to help figure effect off if required. I didn't really make it. I had a chance to, or I thought I did, but I did 7 that turn, so I couldn't do it. Gravity Control helps you get your SHADDOLL fusions effects to go off, so yeah, always good to have those on standby. Side deck. I'm going to show the ones that I use and the ones that I did not use during this past weekend. So these are the ones that I did not use, and this side is the one I did use. So I didn't use any of these because I didn't feel they were required, and I quite like going second for some reason, which got me a 4 wins and 1 loss. I lost like a few dice rolls, so you know, that's always good. So I'm just going to keep those in there. They're good in theory against certain decks, but maybe not this format, maybe it should be changed. So for these ones, the main switcheroo that I did was I had 3 evenly match and 2 SHADDOLL fusions sided in, and I sided out the Frightful package because I felt like after I knew my opponent had like a Kashtira or Branded Despia, it made more sense to have SHADDOLL fusion because it's more of a powerful card, as well as evenly matched to break their boards. And to be fair, evenly matched came in really handy against Bestial Control, and SHADDOLL fusion also helped a lot. Fair Duster was sided 1 time against Bestial Control as well, but you always keep this in the deck anyway because of all the bakura decks. It's not very surprising. So yeah, that's my deck list. Would I consider changing anything? I want to probably add an Earth target for SHADDOLL Shekhanaga. That's my current thinking. You can probably take out SHADDOLL Falco, Restore Incarnation, or maybe SHADDOLL Fusion, or maybe just changing the combination up. I just really like them as a SHADDOLL player. I'm just going to keep them in, especially Restore Incarnation, because that card is quite good. SHADDOLL Fusion is more subjective, I think, and so is SHADDOLL Falco, but I wanted to play them, so I did. That was my theory going into this tournament. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye.